I think the economy is in good shape. I think leadership from the Fed has been outstanding. I think people are much more attuned how to tweak it and what to do. And if you look at the securities business within that environment, I think there's much more discipline today than you go back 20 years ago, or especially 30 years ago. I think risk management has been taken to another level. And I think the casino kind of things that happened 20, 30 years ago when I was directly involved, I think that's been curtailed. I think boards are much more involved than they were when I first got into the securities business. So I think the pressure on boards to really get involved has really paid off. I think CEOs, where they were, whomever it may be, let's go back to John Goodfriend, who was a very powerful guy and outspoken and very talented. They ran these companies, even though they were public companies or had major shareholders, they ran as, I'm in charge, I'm running it, I'm going to do what I think's right. There's nothing wrong with that as long as your board is on board with you doing that.
Some people on the other hand would say, John, all that regulation, disclosure, filing with the SEC has gone too far and it's hurt the business. But you see it as being kind of a moderating force for good?
Yeah, listen, when you say hurt the business, has it taken business or revenues away? Has it shifted capital raising process to Europe or Asia? In my view, the answer is no, it really hasn't. And I think the SEC has to be more involved. If you go back and look at the risk that we took 25, 30 years ago, and it was kind of way out there. And a lot of these firms, including some of the things that happened at Morgan Stanley, we were so mesmerized by the great trader and the money they made that they got more and more autonomy until it was too late. We had huge losses. So I think the setup today is exactly what it should be. I think the Fed needs to be more involved. The SEC is more involved. I also think the level of regulatory diligence is much better than it was 25 years ago.